This is the Celt Father, Marc Gunn. I am a Celtic musician, your podcast host, and of course I am also a geek, as you'll find out when I head over to GenCon. That I leave tomorrow morning, drive down up to Indianapolis for 4 days of awesome music and gaming fun. Let's just say, I'm really looking forward to it. I got a bunch of shows lined up. I'm going to be playing with LT Panzarella once again for during those shows and during the busking and whatnot. And I got Todd Wiley, who's going to be helping me sell CDs. I've been doing this so long, I feel like an expert. But this year, I feel like I'm better prepared. Oh, I'll even have my Save the Dragon stickers that I'm going to be sharing or giving away at shows and throughout the con. So I'm really excited to share all this information and such. Lots of stuff planned. So let me jump into what's going to be happening in the days to come. I also am hoping to do some podcast interviews. I haven't lined anything up. I should have, but I didn't. So once I get there, I will be scouring to see if I can find some good interviews to share with you as well. Now, Thursday night, I'm going to be hosting the Comedy Cabaret. This was once upon a time called Friday Night Live. It was put out on Fridays. I always thought it was a shame that it wasn't on a Thursday, so you could basically promote your shows the rest of the week. So I moved it to Thursday because I've been organizing it the last few years. Bands that will be there: Mikey Mason, Bill Sutton, Dan the Bard, Chris Waffle, the Damsels of Dorkington, Professor Shyguy, Red Rum, and yours truly. Don't know the order at present. Stay tuned for that. Friday, I'm performing my Irish Drinking Songs for Cat Lovers show at 5 p.m. I should change that next year. I'm going to. That time is not the best time of doing something, but we'll see. I will let you know as soon as I set that up. Friday at 8 p.m., I'm doing a Firefly Drinking Songs show. Hopefully, the attendance thus far is a little bit lower, I think. So there are tickets still available. Let you know, but I think that's because I moved the date, and I think there's not as much entertainment on Thursday, so I might have to think about that again next year. Sci-Fi Drinking Songs, my usual show, not so usual this year since I'm going to be doing a piratey theme. I'll still be wearing kilt, but I will be out there singing Sci-Fi Drinking Songs and some songs from my new album, Pirates vs. Dragons. That's on Saturday night. Speaking of Pirates vs. Dragons, the album launch was a huge hit. I made a big old blog on my website. You can find, if you're a musician, you might find it interesting, or because there's a lot of details about how the release went. Overall, I think I sold 102 digital and physical copies of the album in the first 48 hours. That's 18 less than I was hoping. But it put me at number 12 on all CD, baby. Plus, I topped the chart, was number 1 for world music, sea shanties, and folk music. So that's pretty awesome. The album is now at 20% on sale for 20% off, and that's going to continue until the 10th. So you have 8 more days to do that. I had a lot of fun putting this together, and plus this blog, just because I was putting it with the idea of how to do a launch to help other musicians. Now, if you didn't know, I used to host a newsletter called A Bard's Cry, or music marketing newsletter, and it was a very popular way back in the early 2000s. It was one of the top music marketing newsletters. Now I don't even know what there's now. I subscribe to them and then quickly unsubscribe because I don't find them useful. There's a lot of them. They're selling. A lot of them are selling, and my newsletter was about sharing good, solid tips in a quick, easy format. This blog post is not, quick, easy format, but it's a step in the direction that I would like to do. Again, a little bit more of. I would like to help other musicians with similar things, like how to do a successful album launch. And this was, I think, pretty successful considering I did it all by myself. It's totally indie. I don't have a publicist to help me promote my stuff. So I think the album was a huge success, certainly on those levels. Plus, like I said, I hit number 12 on all CD, baby. And Patrick Stewart has a cowboy album he's doing for a non-profit, which hit number 1. So I think that's pretty fantastic. Let's see. The things that I did to promote it were I had a mailing list. If you're not subscribed to it, go subscribe. I'm thinking about changing it up again. I'm thinking about making... Here, I'm just going to throw this out here, and you can let me know what you think. I'm thinking about setting my newsletter up so that it's a little bit, my personal newsletter that is, a little bit less about me. I mean, I'll certainly have like an intro that might talk about what's happening with me, but then it would be like, 4 or 5 things that I've found cool in the past week. That's Celtic and geek related. That's the idea of the newsletter. And then once a month, I will share and put together a big blog post, I think, where I share a lot more, maybe some interaction with you, some of the things that were in the past month, and maybe some other things that come up. I'm still brainstorming the idea. I've been reading this ebook about Grateful Dead and music marketing, and it kind of has me inspired. I don't know if I really have the time to really compile this big old project. It would be awesome if I had helpers. So if you'd like to help, drop me a line. But that is one of the ideas that I would love to do again. Will I be able to pull it off? At present, I should probably just say no, but but it's still a hope. It's definitely a big hope. One of the big changes that I did for this big CD release was to do advertising. Certainly on my podcast, my Irish and Celtic Music podcast, which is my largest podcast, it gets about 10,000 downloads, and I did advertise the new CD in each episode for a month, going up to 4 episodes, I think, had a little intro advertisement for my new album. So I don't know if that helped. There's no way to measure it, but it was good to do. But the other one is Facebook ads, and I'll get to that in just a moment. I also did tried to build the word-of-mouth marketing. That was most successful with the videos that I did. I haven't done music videos before, but I did 2, A Pirate's Confession and Keep Them Soaring from the new album. Keep Them Soaring did fairly well, but it got a fair number of shares, more than most of my stuff, but nowhere near as many as A Pirate's Confession. That one had over 100 shares, and seemed to be well received all around. And what was it that was really cool? Well, who knows? There's some of it could be the title, some could be the song, some could be a little footage of me skipping around really fast. No telling. It was really awesome though to see that video made an impact. So I'm really excited about that. The big one though was Facebook advertising. If you haven't noticed, I've been doing a lot of changes to how I promote on Facebook. I'm more active. I have decided that I'm not going to try to mess with Instagram, not going to try to mess with Twitter. I mean, I'll reshare stuff, but that's about it. That's all Twitter for me is a means to contact other bands, mostly. So I don't use it for marketing. Anyone who wants to help me market stuff on Twitter, you are welcome. Please share my stuff. Mostly what I'm doing is Facebook, and I'm doing, lots of videos, doing the Facebook Live videos, short videos, promoting new podcasts, whatever. I'm doing a lot of that. I did a making of video, and a bunch of different things. And I'm going after GenCon. I want to try some daily Facebook Live events. And the reason I want to do that is I want to try to figure out when is the best time to actually do them. So stay tuned for that. I don't know exactly what's going to be on them, but stay tuned. But I did do a lot of advertising on Facebook, mostly promoting the videos, various videos. Sometimes there were videos that were advertising the new album, but they were all pretty much almost all videos. I think I listed on the blog $250. It was actually, I think it was more like $370, and that's only for like the past month. So I did get my first paycheck, which came in at about $700. So I about doubled my income thanks to by getting the word out. Now, would I could have done that without Facebook advertising. Probably would have been successful. I don't know. I did make some new fans. This is what the big reason why I'm glad I did the Facebook advertising. I actually feel pretty good about it. I gotta say that one of the reasons why I even decided to do Facebook advertising is because I have a Patreon page, and with Patreon, I'm pulling in like over $300 per month just from fans who want to support me. You know, they pledge $1 or more, some $25, and they support just whatever I do, you know, and I send some cool stuff. I made some changes to it. I'll tell you about that in a moment. But I was looking at my Facebook page, and I have 22 new likes on it this week, which that might not sound like a whole lot. I think my Irish and Celtic Music podcast is getting about 60 new likes a week. Again, I am advertising there, but it's 60 new likes is pretty fantastic. But when I look at that number, 22, I compare it to pretty much most every other week of this year. I don't think I've gained, until the past month, I haven't gained any new fans on Facebook, any new likes. Let's just reframe that, because it's really likes on Facebook, because I haven't been gigging a whole lot, and I haven't been known how to promote my music properly on Facebook, that is. You know, getting likes is kind of, it's useless. It's overall, but it is a nice indicator to show that what you're doing is successful. So that said, 22 likes. I'm like, woohoo! This is awesome. I'm building my fan base again. Of course, GenCon's coming up, and I'll get a whole bunch more there. But that is a huge step for me. So I am psyched. On that measurement alone, I feel like I did pretty well. Now, is it $370 worth of well? Probably not. But I don't know. I made for the last month. Do we have any measurement of how many I've made in the last month? Let's see, 200. Probably about 50 or 60. Which, you know, not too shabby. It's an expensive lead, and not a very valuable one when you're talking about Facebook, but it's nevertheless it's a direction. Plus, again, I sold some CDs, which is awesome. So all in all, I was very happy with the album launch of Pirates vs. Dragons. Again, if you're a musician, you might want to go read through that blog post. It's kind of cool. If you're not, you know, if you want to glance at it, go check it out. You can see the pictures that I took of me up at the top of the chart, so it's awesome. Patreon. So, as you may know, I have a Patreon site. My Patreon page I've been promoting quite a bit, and I think sloppily, but I've been doing it. And it is a monthly Patreon. So basically you can make a pledge for, you know, again, $1 a month, and you can become an official gun runner. Now, up until yesterday, I had several different levels. I been changing this up over the past 2 years since I started my Patreon site, but I've been changing it up quite a bit. And up until yesterday, there were more levels. I had a $10 level, a $25 level. I have removed all the levels now, and I decided that there's just one level now. It's the $1 level, and you can pledge more than that. That would be awesome, but that's not what this is. This is Patreon is a site that I started to help promote my, have a direct access to gun runners, the hardcore, true, if you will, there's a phrase that goes around the internet, true fans of my music. And so I've removed all the restrictions. There's no more levels or anything. It's just $1 per month, or more. Again, but I think this is a good move overall. I don't know. The big reason I decided to change it is because I don't like offering things that I can't follow through with. And since the beginning, I've had trouble following through with this stuff. I've been able to do like at least a podcast for like the basic gun runners, and sometimes some blogs. But that's it. And I kind of feel like that just kind of is okay. It's not great. So I wanted to do something more. And I wanted to basically make everything that I share available to you. And so I have a new video from my Pirates vs. Dragons, which is going to be a very long video because I had when I did the album release on Concert Window, it was a 2-hour release, and that was because I apparently screwed up the time. I was supposed to do it. I planned to do it at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I set it for 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So a whole bunch of people were there at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So to appease everyone, I played for both groups. And I think the show went well. It seemed like it was a good response. It was not overly as well attended as I would have hoped. I think there was like 16, 20 or so people who watched the show at various points. Not too bad, not spectacular. I haven't decided when the next one's going to be, but I might change the date, the day of the week. I might go back to Sundays because I feel like I've had better responses on Sundays, or maybe I'll try a Saturday show. I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know when I pick a date for that. I do want to send out a big thanks to Jessica Clark. She is my newest patron. You are awesome. Thank you so very much. I also started work on the Pirates vs. Dragons podcast. I say I, but it's really not me. It's David Reiland. David Reiland is the guy who has been adding sound effects to my podcast. The current Pirates vs. Dragons podcast. This is the one that's basically just the ebook read out loud. But this is going to be a bit different. Now, David also produces the Renaissance Festival podcast, and if you've listened to that at renaissancefestivalmusic.com, you know that it is a high-quality show. He's done an amazing job of transforming it from just a music show to an entertainment show, a news show, a whole bunch more show. It's a fantastic podcast. Go check it out, renaissancefestivalmusic.com. But he's going to be producing and helping to write the Pirates vs. Dragons podcast season 2. Now, here's what this means. Now, the plan is that I'm going to be basically going on an intergalactic tour of various locations around the Galactiverse and beyond. I have some ideas to basically have what do you call it? An audio drama where I play music. I imagine for me it's like the Monkees, an audio drama version of the Monkees TV show. So I don't know if it'll be nearly as funny or entertaining, but because David and I don't feel like either of us are super hilarious people. However, I do have Laramie Williams who plays the part of Gus. He's going to be a part of it, and he's a funny guy. I also am looking for people to join me on this podcast project. I want people, especially if we have anyone who writes and can write comedy. That would be awesome, because I would love it to be a little bit more comedic. Right now, it's a serious drama of sorts, but we're going to be adding more. Laramie is brilliant at improv, so I'm hoping we're going to add some stuff there, but because of that, we have at least started it. The first episode is mostly written, sort of an intro episode, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. Again, David took the reins. He started writing a script, and I was like, I don't know about that. Oh, that's awesome. he changed my mind, because I had an idea of what I wanted to do with this, and he came in with his own, and he was actually writing, so I'm like, well, I'm going to go with what you're doing. And plus, his ideas, we're merging our ideas as we work on this. So it's sounding great so far. If you want to subscribe, you will be able to go to, where should I put this? You can go to marcgunn.com, but maybe I'll put it over at the Save Dragons, set up a podcast page at savedragons.com, which would make a lot more sense.